We need to redo the election. Let me explain. The riding of Terrebonne was originally called for the Liberals on election night, then during validation it was called for the Bloc, and then upon a judicial recount it was called for the Liberals. And the Liberals only won it by one vote, but not only that, during the recount it seems as though more votes were added to the total tally. I am not in any way claiming there to be any conspiracy here. I trust Elections Canada and I know that they followed the process and I know that it was safe and secure. But as I saw Millennial Moron point out, once you have a one vote threshold, it kind of changes the impact of literally every other vote. Which votes were disqualified, which people who did mail-in ballots didn't have their votes counted. Like literally a simple mistake could completely change the outcome of an election. And normally in a close race, the race is between 20, 30 votes. And at that point, one single ballot is not going to change the outcome. But when the riding was only won by one vote, as he posted on his Instagram story, when it's a one vote victory, it's kind of hard for it to stand. Do I think that there will be a new election for this riding? No. Do I think there should be? I'm not sure, but it's a conversation we should be having. But I can definitely see there being a slippery slope argument here. Is there a certain vote threshold that at every single point, instead of triggering a recount, we instead do a whole re-election? What about the cost to taxpayers? What about the fairness in that? It seems like there's a lot of factors that go into this, and it's really, really hard to say whether we should or shouldn't do it. But it is something that I think we should talk about. It's important to talk about our democracy. It's important to talk about the things that we think went right, things that we think went wrong, and to find out ways to make sure that in the future, it doesn't happen again. And while this riding is an easy thought experiment because it would have just gone between the Liberals and the Bloc, which means that it wouldn't really change the balance of power at all, and it wouldn't have changed the outcome of the election overall, what happens if we start getting to the point where these close races do change the outcome of the overall election? I know I had a really clickbaity intro, but the point of that was to bring you here, to have this conversation. What do we think we should be doing in cases like this? What if Pierre Poilievre had won his Carleton riding by one single vote, and after a judicial recount, more votes were added to the overall Elections Canada total? Would you or anybody you know call foul play? And there's no right answer here, only what you're comfortable with and what we think we should do as a nation moving forward. Tell me what you think. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below.